Today marks the 5th anniversary of one of the biggest free agencies in NBA history. Let's look back at the teams that made the biggest moves like Miami and Brooklyn and rank how successful they've been. After losing in the first round to the KD Warriors, the Clippers had a massive offseason to become contenders since the Lob City era. The team would sign reigning Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard in free agency and would make a trade with Oklahoma City Thunder to pair him with MVP candidate Paul George. In exchange for Paul George, LA gave rookie Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, as well as 5 first-round picks with 2 pick swaps. We'll talk in depth about this trade when reaching OKC's segment. With the deep bench and star power, the Clippers were supposed to be one of the best teams in the following years, as many expected them to win a championship in their first year of forming. They were looking so strong that Patrick Beverley told Steph Curry that the next 5 years were his. Since then, the awe factor of the Clippers has diminished. One of the biggest issues from the beginning with the Clippers was one question: can they stay healthy? And the answer has been no. Their first year was their best chance to get a title. The Kawhi-led Clippers would finish as the 2nd seed in the West and were prepared to make their playoff debut. In the bubble, the Clippers would eliminate the Mavericks in 6, but would lose embarrassingly as the Denver Nuggets came back down 3-1 to beat them. Ever since then, there hasn't been a Clippers playoff run with Kawhi and Paul George healthy. Kawhi's torn ACL made him miss part of the 2021 playoffs and the entirety of 2022, while PG's 2023 season was cut short with the knee sprain. While the Clips have been underwhelming, they also made the conference finals in 2021, the furthest the franchise has ever made it in the playoffs. Relative to the rest of the league, the Clippers have been successful, but when comparing to what was expected, some called them a failure. With this in the 2021 run in mind, they are ranked 4th on my list. When PG got traded to the Clippers, his all-star teammate Russell Westbrook was moved to the Houston Rockets. After running it back with Chris Paul, who showed signs of regression, Houston thought his prime years were past him. The Rockets would trade him and 4 picks to OKC for the 2017 MVP. Russ was reunited with his former teammate James Harden with the shared goal of winning their first championships. The team ran a small ball style of play, and it came back to bite them. This focus on small ball was strengthened later in the season, as Houston traded Clint Capella for Robert Covington, Gerald Green, and their 2020 draft pick back. Harden and Russ would both be All-Stars and make All-NBA teams. Harden specifically had a great season, finishing 3rd in MVP voting while averaging 34 points for the entire season. The Rockets would finish their year as the 4th seed and would match up with Chris Paul and the OKC Thunder, and after a rough 7-game series, Houston would be the victor. Their average defense and lack of a traditional big man was felt when Anthony Davis and LeBron James dominated the Rockets in the 2nd round. After their exit, the front office ended the pairing of MVPs and traded Russell Westbrook to the Wizards for John Wall and a pick. James Harden would also move to the Eastern Conference later in the season, as he was traded in a multiple-team move that brought Victor Oladipo and 8 picks or pick swaps. Since then, Houston has gone from contending to rebuilding, but the rebuild hasn't been pretty. After back-to-back seasons with the worst record in the league, the Rockets have brought in players like Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green, and Jabari Smith Jr., who could become potential cornerstones of the Rockets' future. Outside of 2020, Houston has been rebuilding, and they're the lowest-ranked team on my list. The team that eliminated them in 2020 was the Lakers, and they're the next team to look at. After a trade package involving Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram, the Lakers created a potentially lethal dynamic duo of LeBron and Anthony Davis. After LeBron's injury derailed their 2019 season, the Lakers wanted to bring in an elite second option. The 2019-2020 season was the best year in the LeBron-Lakers era. They would finish the season with the best record in the West and would steamroll their way to the Lakers' 16th championship. The Lakers went through a rough patch after the ring. After an injury-riddled season that led to a first-round exit, the Lakers decided to trade for Russell Westbrook. Questions regarding fit started immediately, and the Lakers had their worst year since signing LeBron. It was looking like they'd have another bad year, but after an amazing trade deadline, the Lakers got the pieces they needed and made the conference finals. The Lakers have had some high highs with some low lows, but with both a championship and a conference finals appearance, they're at the top of my list. The team that met the Lakers in the finals was the Miami Heat, and they're the next team I want to bring up. A few days ago, I was wondering who has been the team of the 2020s so far, and it made me realize how much success the Heat have had. First, let's look at the moves made to put themselves in that position. In the offseason, Josh Richardson, Hassan Whiteside, and a projected first-round pick were moved to bring in Jimmy Butler. Jimmy would make 2nd-team All-NBA while making his 5th All-Star game. Bam would take a big leap this season, finishing 2nd in voting for Most Improved Player and making his first All-Star team. Miami would finish the year as the 5th seed and would shock the NBA world, eliminating both the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics on their way to the NBA Finals. Their run would stop in 6 games as LA lifted the championship. Outside of a first-round exit in 2021, Miami has been elite. Miami made the conference finals in 2022, as well as making the NBA Finals in 2023. In the past 4 years, the Heat have made it to the conference finals 3 times, which is the highest number of appearances during that time frame. Miami has proven to be a formidable opponent, winning against the Sixers and both the Celtics and Bucks twice. The Heat have been one of the best teams in these 4 years, and they are 3rd on my list. After trading their star player Anthony Davis, the Pelicans started their rebuild strong, led by Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Zion Williamson. While they look like the team of the future, they haven't met the expectations they had. The team in this span has been average. When it comes to playoff success, there's been 2 play-in appearances and a first-round exit, so not much. One thing to keep in mind is how Zion and Ingram have been dealing with injuries for the past 4 years. But with them already missing so much time so early in their careers, it makes me believe in this core less. 2 notable players involved in the Anthony Davis trade are no longer on the team. During the 2021 offseason, the Pelicans decided to not re-sign Lonzo Ball. Instead, there is a sign-and-trade that brought him to the Bulls. Josh Hart would also join a new team, as he was involved with a package for CJ McCollum. CJ is a good player, but bringing in a player like CJ is what playoff teams do when they're close to becoming contenders, and losing Lonzo for very little was not a decision that I would have made. The Pelicans have been forgettable at points since drafting Zion, and a serious lack of playoff success when compared to these other teams has me putting them 7th on my list. The Nets have been a roller coaster since their offseason. With so many things that happen, I can make an entirely different video about it. After bringing in Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets looked like a dangerous team once KD came back from his injury. Brooklyn's future changed when they decided to give a large haul for James Harden. While the Nets did lose some of their bench depth, it looked like the champions were inevitable. They eliminated the Celtics in 5, and their big 3 was playing great. That was until Game 1 versus the Milwaukee Bucks, as James Harden hurt his hamstring. 3 games later, Kyrie would also go down after an awkward landing. KD played at an amazing level, and Harden was able to come back, but they would lose to the eventual champions in overtime of Game 7. While their exit was a hard pill to swallow, the Nets planned to run it back. But with Kyrie's restrictions and a KD injury, the pressure fell on a hobbled James Harden to lead this team in the meantime. Harden would request a trade, and after getting swept by the Celtics, KD would too. He would later rescind his request, but once the season was over, the team looked vastly different. Kevin now plays for the Suns, and Kyrie is in Dallas for now. When looking at the Nets, the team has a possible star in McHale, a strange Ben Simmons situation, and a bunch of role players. In analyzing the Nets, more off-court problems have impacted their success than on-court issues. Things like trade requests, leaves of absences, and calling for firings hurt how much success they could have. The Nets only had 1 chance at a playoff run, and it stings that we were never able to see how this team could truly look. An unsuccessful attempt at a super team and a retooling roster have the Nets at 5 on my list. Let's look at the other side of the Kevin Durant sign and trade. After losing in the NBA Finals, it took a while for the Warriors to make it back. The Dubs had a tough 2019-2020 season, finishing with the worst record in the league, while Klay and Curry missed practically the whole year. The Warriors would bring in D'Angelo Russell from the Brooklyn Nets, who later be traded to Minnesota in exchange for Andrew Wiggins at the trade deadline. This would also be Jordan Poole's rookie year, as both Poole and Wiggins would eventually play pivotal roles in their 2022 championship run. Curry's 2021 campaign was phenomenal, gaining MVP votes, but the team would lose 2 play-in games and be eliminated. The year after, the team would add important bench pieces and a recovered Klay Thompson, helping Steph claim his first ever Finals MVP. They had a down year in 2023, but the team had 2 bad seasons, a solid one, and an elite year. The Warriors and Lakers are the only 2 teams to win championships in this span. The 2022 season carries, but I rank them 2nd on my list. A team with history with Golden State is the OKC Thunder, who are next up. After Damian Lillard ended their season in the first round, the Thunder decided it was time to rebuild. They would trade both Russell Westbrook and Paul George for plenty of picks, Chris Paul, and SGA. The team had low expectations heading into the year, with a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs. The team would impress, as they finished with the 5th seed in the West and would match up with the Rockets. After their heartbreaking first-round exit, the Thunder would trade Chris Paul to Phoenix for role players and a pick. Fast forwarding to now, it seems like the Thunder rebuild is on the right track. Shea's play on the court suggests that he has the potential to become a superstar. While he's already shown an ability to be a star in the league, this year, he averaged over 30 points per game and made a first-team All-NBA appearance. The players Oklahoma has drafted have shown promise and potential, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest of those picks. OKC will likely use a lot of those picks in a trade for another great player to pair with Shea. While I don't think it's as big as a gap as others claim, it seems like the Thunder will be the winner in the PG trade. Getting so many picks and an elite young player looks bad from the Clippers' perspective, and while they did reach the conference finals, only a championship can really give them a chance to label them as the definitive winners. When it comes to the Houston trade, I think the title of winner easily goes to the Thunder. Getting a bunch of picks from a team that eventually went into a rebuild is a great pickup. While the team hasn't done much, they look like they're on the right track and have done more than some of the teams I've brought up. OKC is 6th on my rankings. If you're interested in taking a trip down memory lane of past NBA seasons, you may enjoy watching this video where I examine some hot takes from last year.